The C-130 Hercules wasn't built to be the fastest, the biggest, or the most advanced military aircraft. Yet more than 70 years after its first flight, militaries around the world still rely on it for missions that few other aircraft can accomplish. Since 1954, the Hercules has served in major conflicts, humanitarian disasters, and special operations across the globe, earning a reputation as one of the most versatile military aircraft ever built. If you've ever flown aboard a C-130, worked with one, maintained one, or simply watched it in action, we'd love to hear your story. Share your experience in the comments below. But here's what makes the Hercules truly remarkable. Despite decades of technological advances and billions invested in new transport aircraft, no one has built a true replacement. So what makes this seemingly ordinary turboprop so extraordinary? Why does a design that's more than 70 years old continue to outperform aircraft decades younger in the missions that matter most? Today we're uncovering why the C-130 Hercules remains an aircraft the world still can't replace. To understand why the Hercules remains so difficult to replace, we need to go back more than 70 years. After World War II, military planners recognized a new challenge. Future wars would depend not only on firepower, but on the ability to move troops, vehicles, and supplies quickly into areas where conventional transport aircraft simply couldn't operate. Large cargo planes could haul heavy loads across continents, but they relied on long, well-prepared runways. Smaller aircraft could reach remote locations, but lacked the payload to support large-scale operations. The US Air Force needed something in between, an aircraft capable of carrying meaningful cargo into rough, unimproved airfields close to the front lines. That challenge fell to Lockheed. Rather than modifying an existing transport, its engineers designed an entirely new aircraft around one mission, delivering people and equipment where other aircraft couldn't. The result was the C-130 Hercules. When it first flew in 1954, few could have imagined it would still be flying frontline missions more than 70 years later. From Vietnam and the Middle East to humanitarian disasters and Antarctic research missions, the Hercules has repeatedly proven its value. Its longevity isn't simply the result of high replacement costs. The Hercules has endured because it continues to perform missions that few other aircraft can match with the same combination of versatility, reliability, and efficiency. And that all comes down to one remarkably clever design. From the beginning, the Hercules wasn't designed to be the fastest or most advanced transport aircraft. It was built around a single challenge. How do you deliver soldiers and supplies to places where almost no other aircraft can operate? That mission shaped every aspect of its design. Its high-mounted wing isn't just a distinctive feature. By keeping the engines well above the ground, it reduces the risk of rocks and debris being sucked into the propellers on rough airstrips, while lowering the fuselage to simplify loading vehicles, pallets, and heavy equipment. The four turboprop engines follow the same philosophy. They generate exceptional thrust at low speeds, allowing the Hercules to take off with heavy payloads from short runways, and, with powerful reverse thrust, stop quickly on dirt, gravel, and other unprepared surfaces. Its rugged landing gear was equally purposeful, enabling operations from gravel, sand, snow, ice, and packed dirt, while distributing the aircraft's weight across uneven terrain. At the rear, the large cargo ramp allows vehicles to drive aboard, paratroopers to deploy, and cargo or humanitarian aid to be delivered by airdrop when landing isn't possible. Every engineering decision was driven by one objective: making the Hercules capable of operating where other transport aircraft simply couldn't. And that's exactly why replacing it has proven so difficult. At first glance, replacing the Hercules might seem straightforward. Military aviation has advanced dramatically since the C-130 first flew in the 1950s. Modern transports are faster, more automated, and equipped with advanced avionics. Some carry heavier payloads, while others can operate from even shorter runways. So why hasn't any of them replaced the Hercules? The answer lies in what military planners often describe as the Goldilocks zone. The Hercules occupies a unique niche. Not too big, not too small, but balanced enough to excel across a wide range of missions. On one end are strategic airlifters like the C-17 Globemaster III, capable of carrying over 77 tons of cargo. The C-17 can transport tanks, helicopters, and other heavy equipment across continents. But that capability comes at a cost. It's larger, far more expensive to operate, and relies on more substantial airfield infrastructure. Although it can use relatively short runways for its size, it wasn't designed to routinely operate from the rough, improvised landing strips where tactical airlifters often work. At the opposite end is the C-27J Spartan. Its smaller size allows it to access tighter airfields than the Hercules, but it sacrifices payload and cargo volume. Missions that require a single C-130 may take multiple C-27 sorties, increasing flight hours, fuel consumption, crew requirements, and overall operating costs. Then there's the Airbus A400M Atlas, widely regarded as the Hercules' closest competitor. It offers greater payload, higher cruising speed, and modern fly-by-wire controls while retaining impressive short-field performance. But it was designed with different priorities. Larger and more expensive than the C-130, the A400M is better suited to nations seeking greater strategic lift, while the Hercules remains optimized for routine tactical operations in austere environments. Even newer concepts have struggled to fill the gap. Tiltrotor aircraft like the V-22 Osprey can take off vertically and reach places conventional transports cannot, making them invaluable for special operations. However, they sacrifice payload, cargo volume, endurance, and cost efficiency. Rather than replacing the Hercules, they complement it, and that's the pattern seen across nearly every proposed successor. Some aircraft carry more, others fly faster, or reach more difficult landing zones. But none combine payload, ruggedness, operational flexibility, and affordability as effectively as the Hercules. That's because replacing the C-130 isn't simply about replacing an airplane. For more than 70 years, militaries have built logistics networks, maintenance systems, training programs, and operational doctrine around it. Replacing the Hercules would mean replacing an entire ecosystem shaped by decades of real-world experience. Perhaps that's the Hercules' greatest strength. It's more than a transport aircraft. It's a logistics platform that has repeatedly proven itself everywhere from desert airstrips and jungle clearings to Antarctic ice fields and disaster zones where conventional airports no longer exist. And that remarkable versatility didn't just make the Hercules successful, it transformed it into one of the most adaptable military aircraft ever built. Most military aircraft are built for a single role. Fighters secure air superiority, bombers strike strategic targets, tankers refuel other aircraft, and transports move troops and cargo. The Hercules started as a tactical airlifter, but over time it evolved into something far more valuable, a platform that could be adapted for an extraordinary range of missions. Perhaps the most famous variant is the AC-130 gunship. Transformed from a cargo aircraft into a heavily armed close air support platform. Equipped with precision-guided weapons and powerful side-firing cannons, it has become one of the most effective aircraft for supporting ground forces and special operations. The MC-130 serves a very different purpose, inserting and extracting special operations forces deep inside hostile territory, while also refueling helicopters in flight. The HC-130 supports long-range search and rescue missions, while the KC-130 functions as an aerial tanker, extending the range of fighters, helicopters, and tiltrotor aircraft without sacrificing its transport capability. The Hercules' versatility extends well beyond military operations. The LC-130, fitted with skis, routinely lands on Antarctica's ice sheets to support scientific expeditions. The WC-130 flies directly into hurricanes to collect weather data that improves storm forecasting. Other Hercules variants have been converted into aerial firefighting aircraft, dropping thousands of gallons of fire retardant to combat massive wildfires. This remarkable adaptability is one of the biggest reasons the Hercules has endured for so long. Replacing it isn't simply about finding another transport aircraft. A true successor would also need to support special operations, aerial refueling, search and rescue, polar logistics, weather reconnaissance, humanitarian relief, and firefighting, all on a single platform. That's what makes the Hercules so difficult to replace. It's not just one aircraft. It's an entire family of aircraft built around a design that has repeatedly proven it can adapt to almost any mission. Of course, this raises an obvious question. If the Hercules is so capable, why have some countries decided to retire it? The answer has less to do with the aircraft itself, and more with changing military priorities. A good example is the United Kingdom. After more than 56 years of service, the Royal Air Force retired its C-130 fleet and shifted much of its tactical airlift mission to the Airbus A400M Atlas, while continuing to rely on the C-17 Globemaster III for strategic transport. On paper, the decision makes sense. Operating fewer aircraft types reduces logistics costs, simplifies maintenance, and streamlines pilot training. Fleet consolidation has become an increasingly attractive option for militaries seeking greater efficiency while managing limited defense budgets. However, every decision comes with compromises. Several former RAF commanders and defense analysts have argued that retiring the Hercules also meant giving up certain niche capabilities that the newer fleet cannot fully replicate. The C-130 had earned a reputation for supporting highly specialized missions, particularly in low-level tactical flying, special operations, and precision maritime deployments such as launching inflatable boats. While the A400M can perform many of the same tasks, it was designed with different priorities, and some of the Hercules' unique strengths inevitably disappeared along with the aircraft. That distinction is important. Retiring the Hercules does not necessarily mean another aircraft has replaced every capability it offered. In many cases, it simply means accepting trade-offs in exchange for other operational advantages. For some air forces, those compromises are acceptable. For many others, they are not. That helps explain why new C-130J Super Hercules aircraft continue to be ordered around the world, despite the aircraft's age. Another common misconception is that the Hercules remains in service simply because militaries can't afford to replace it. In reality, today's C-130J Super Hercules is a thoroughly modern aircraft. While its familiar silhouette has changed very little, almost everything beneath the surface has been upgraded. More efficient Rolls-Royce AE2100 turboprop engines, 6-bladed composite propellers, and a fully digital cockpit have improved performance, reduced pilot workload, and lowered maintenance requirements compared with earlier variants. The aircraft also continues to receive updated communications, navigation, and mission systems, ensuring it remains compatible with today's increasingly networked battlefield. Rather than standing still, the Hercules has continuously evolved, allowing a design first flown in the 1950s to remain relevant well into the 21st century. That doesn't mean the Hercules will remain unmatched forever. Aerospace companies are already exploring autonomous cargo aircraft, advanced vertical lift platforms, and AI-assisted logistics that could reshape military airlift over the coming decades. But none of these concepts currently offers the same balance of payload, ruggedness, versatility, and operating economy that defines the Hercules. Some promise greater speed or flexibility, while others introduce entirely new capabilities. Yet each still involves compromises in cargo capacity, endurance, infrastructure requirements, or cost. For now, the Hercules continues to occupy a unique position in military aviation. Until another aircraft can match that combination of capabilities in a single platform, it will remain one of the world's most valuable tactical transports. For more than 70 years, the C-130 Hercules has quietly served in places where few other aircraft could. It has supported combat operations, humanitarian relief, disaster response, scientific expeditions, and countless other missions across every corner of the globe. Its legacy was never built on speed or cutting-edge technology alone. Instead, it earned its reputation by solving one of the military's most difficult challenges: delivering people and supplies wherever they were needed, regardless of the conditions on the ground. That's why replacing the Hercules is about far more than designing another transport aircraft. Any true successor must match its unique combination of versatility, reliability, operational experience, and adaptability, a standard that no aircraft has fully achieved. One day, a replacement will undoubtedly emerge, but until then, the Hercules remains exactly what it has been for more than 7 decades, one of the most capable and dependable military transport aircraft ever built. What do you think? Will another aircraft eventually succeed the Hercules, or will its unique role remain unmatched for years to come? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and thanks for watching.